guys, what's going on? It's Massive Joe's Raw Review, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Awesome Raw Review for the viewers at home today on a high-stim, complete, performance-based pre-workout supplement from a US-based supplement company. They're called Mencel. The pre-workout is called Game Day in the house. Let's get straight into it, show you guys exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's going to do. That nutritional information panel ain't going to get it done. We're about to go balls deep in this here Mencel Game Day, which is fortunate because I've just thrown the tub halfway across the room. Big ass nutritional information panel coming up on screen for you guys at the moment to play along at home. Starting from the top, we're talking about one scoop, 17 grams, 30 of them 17-gram bitches in each of these Mencel Game Day bitches. And quite uniquely at the moment, especially when it comes to pre-workouts, one scoop is one serve. So none of this 2-scoop serve, 40 scoops, 20 serves, 60 scoops, 30, no, 30 scoops, 30 serves in each and every tub of Game Day. In terms of what the 17 grams is made up of, 15.008 grams of each 17-gram scoop are active ingredients spread across 10 individual active ingredients. We're going to take a deep dive into those in a second. But that leaves us with 88% active ingredients and only 12% flavors, sweeteners, and stabilizers, which is exceptional in a pre-workout supplement. And I will also make mention that Mencel do not use any artificial colors or dyes. Let's dive into these 10 active ingredients. As always, guys, link is in the description box to our supplement simplified articles. If you personally want to go a little bit deeper into these ingredients I'm about to bring up, figure out how they work, what the actual clinical doses are, when you should take them, so on and so forth, feel free to do that. We're going to look at this in terms of the 5 effects that we look for in complete stimulant-based performance pre-workouts. Those 5 effects are muscle pumps, of course, muscle power, muscular endurance, mental focus and elevation in mood or increased well-being, and then 5th and finally, energy. Starting from muscle pumps. And we're going to combine this muscle pumps with improved blood flow and nutrient delivery, of course. We got 2 ingredients in this Mencel Game Day formula that's going to assist here. We've got L-citrulline in an absolutely massive dose. 50% above clinical dose, if I'm not mistaken, in the L-citrulline, combined with agmatine sulfate, also in a whopping dose, also above clinical dose. We're going to get some really nice synergism here. Obviously, L-citrulline is boosting nitric oxide through the arginine pathway as a precursor to arginine, and the agmatine helps that elevated nitric oxide stick around. So it's going to help prolong our muscle pumps. Onto muscle power, we have another absolutely massive dose here of creatine hydrochloride. Creatine, obviously a precursor to ATP. You guys would know, keen watchers of Raw Reviews and the other content here on the MassiveJoes YouTube channel, you know that I'm personally not a big fan of creatine in pre-workout supplements. I much prefer creatine post-workout. That being said, I really do like creatine HCl as a creatine if you're going to put it in a pre-workout formula. It's probably my most liked version of creatine to be taken pre-workout because it's super highly bioavailable, it's very easy to digest, it gets into the bloodstream very quickly where it can do what creatine needs to do, which is help muscle power. Onto muscular endurance, we've got a full clinical dose of beta-alanine combined with not a bad dose of taurine. We could probably even call that a clinical dose of taurine. That's going to help reduce or delay the onset of muscle fatigue toxins and help with muscular endurance, and some nice synergism there between the beta-alanine and the taurine, which also helps electrolyte balance, going to help us train harder for longer, stimulate more muscle growth. Mental focus and elevation in mood. Now here's where we start to get a little bit rocky with this formula because we have my personal least favorite form of choline. It's very highly unbioavailable. I don't even know if that even makes any sense. Let's say that it's not very bioavailable, the choline bitartrate, and it's way too small a dose. So we've got an underdose of choline bitartrate, pretty much a redundant ingredient as far as I'm concerned. We then have a clinical dose of juniper berry, combined with a clinical dose of this ingredient that is quite new to the supplement industry, and we're seeing it pop up in a lot of pre-workouts and also nootropics and sometimes fat burners as well. And that is, of course, our neurofactor, which is a great ingredient for increasing mental focus in particular, not so much elevating mood and feeling of well-being. So far as mental focus, elevation, mood is concerned, it's kind of, 50-50. Finally, the fifth and final effect that we look for in terms of our complete stimulant-based performance pre-workouts is, of course, energy. And in this formula, we have a whopping dose of natural caffeine. Let me emphasize natural caffeine. So that's going to come up when we talk about effects a little bit later on. 358 milligrams of the green coffee bean extract, which is standardized for 98% caffeine. So we're actually going to yield 350 milligrams of natural caffeine from the green coffee beans, combined with a full clinical dose of L-theanine, which is really just going to take the edge off that absolutely whopping dose of caffeine, make it feel a little bit smoother as our body assimilates that caffeine. So it's going to give us some nice, smooth, long-lasting energy. In terms of what it's missing, on paper, when you look at this formula and you go, okay, those are the 5 effects we look for in pre-workouts, we're definitely getting a tick for muscle pumps, we're getting a tick for muscle power, we're getting a tick for muscular endurance, maybe half a tick at best for mental focus and elevation and mood, and then we're getting a big tick for energy. So we're at 4.5 out of 5 ticks when we're considering these 5 effects. In terms of what it's missing, on paper, it's quite a comprehensive formula, hence the 4.5 out of 5 ticks. But if you wanted to pick it to shreds, of course, you can do that with any pre-workout formula on the planet. So let's do that real quick. When it comes to the muscle pumps, it would be nice to see some nitrates in there, some arginine nitrate, some creatine nitrate, potassium nitrate, whatever form, and also some vasodilators. And that's just really going to give us that nice synergism when it comes to improving blood flow, obviously, and nutrient delivery, and then the side effect of muscle pumps as well. Some glycerol for hyperhydration of muscle cells to really blow our muscles up from a muscular pump perspective would be nice as well. When it comes to a muscle power perspective, some betaine, some peak ATP, some elevate ATP to work synergistically with the creatine hydrochloride would be exceptional. Muscular endurance is pretty damn good. I mean, really, the only thing that you could add to the full clinical dose of beta-alanine and the big dose of taurine would be something like a PECO2 if you wanted to, but probably a little bit redundant. When it comes to elevating mood, there's a lot of space here to add ingredients to this formula. N-acetyl-L-tyrosine, obviously, mucunapurines would be great. Anything that's gonna be somewhere along the chain of releasing dopamine. Is a precursor to dopamine of some sort, is really gonna help the elevation in mood in this particular formula. And then finally, when it comes to mental focus, I would really like to see a much more highly bioavailable source of choline, some alpha GPC, some acetylcholine, combined with some huperzine A to make sure that that elevated level of choline is not being broken down in the body, so we can actually get those neurotransmitters firing and get that mental focus boosted up. But that is, of course, if we're being super picky and effectively reformulating the supplement. But as it stands on paper, a very, very complete 4.5 out of 5 ticks when it comes to complete stimulant-based pre-workouts as Men's Sports Game Day. In terms of how it tastes, how it mixes, comes in 3 flavors. I threw one of them on the floor at the start of this video, so I've only got one here. So we're gonna have to use our imagination here, guys. Comes in pink lemonade, comes in, hold on, I've got that tub, comes in rainbow sherbet, comes in sour batch. Infamous MassiveJoes taste and mixability test about to go down. But guys, before I do that, I have to point this out. I have to draw your attention to this because it's actually my personal tub of Game Day, and you guys can see I have put a massive dent. I've literally got like maybe 2 scoops left in there. One thing that has that really became quite obvious to me very early on when I was using Game Day is the scoop is underdosed quite significantly. So a scoop, a full scoop And we're talking about this. It doesn't specify on the label whether it's a level scoop or a heap scoop. So we're going to assume it's a level scoop. A full level scoop is supposed to weigh 17 grams. A full level scoop weighs more like approximately 12 to 13 grams, not 17. So it's underdosed by about 30%, which means everything we just went through in terms of the dosages in a full 1 scoop serve is actually closer to 1.5 scoops. So just keep that in mind. Infamous MassiveJoes taste and mixability test about to go down. Got myself 1 scoop at a game day. Oh boy, I'm making a lot of mess in this raw review, guys. We're just gonna level that off down here. There it is, 1 level scoop of the game day. We got ourselves a double wall glass. We got ourselves a spoon, of course. I'm gonna take this bitch and let it rain, let it rain. A few flicks of the wrist. Get the hand out of the way so you guys can get your zoom and focus action on what's going on here. There we go. I feel like you can get the point. That's really nowhere near as much water as directed. In fact, let me read the directions to you guys real quick. It says, as a dietary supplement, mix 1 scoop a game day with 16 to 24 ounces of cold water. I've probably got about 6 ounces there. So I'm really pushing the mixability to a whole new level. But I would go so far as to say there's some little sinkers in there, but it is a pre-workout, so I would go so far as to say blender ball is not required for this Man Sports Game Day. Let me refresh my memory on how this rainbow sherbet flavor tastes, man. Not bad, not bad. I will say that the flavors are very mild flavors. They're very easy to drink. Just remember that I really should have used about 3 times the amount of water there, and even that is quite a mild flavor. So the flavors are very mild, very easy to drink. They are rather, let's go with chemically tasting. Very, like there's a big, like artificial taste going on there, so that they don't taste like they're naturally flavored. Let's just put it that way. But they are quite easy to drink. If I had to rank the flavors personally, in my personal opinion, from best to from my favorite to my least favorite, I'll go Rainbow Sherbet number 1, hence my personal tub. I would go Sour Batch number 2, and then Pink Lemonade number 3. That being said, it's very close. All 3 flavors are very easy to drink. The flavors are very mild, and you guys will not be disappointed with any of those 3 flavors. In terms of the effects, because that's what you're taking your pre-workout for, guys. Man, the formula can look good. It can taste amazing, mix well. If it's not going to get you the effects you're looking for, you're wasting your damn time. So, when it comes to pumps, they're very good, and they last, for the most part, your entire workout. They're not mind-blowing pumps. This is not a pre-workout that is going to be the best pumps of your life. They are good, they are consistent, and they last a long time. Muscle power is also very good, also not mind-blowing. You're going to have really good workouts if you're training for strength. You're going to feel strong, you're going to feel powerful, but it's nothing that you're going to go and scream out the window to the universe about, because it's the best muscle power you've ever experienced. Endurance is very, very good. In fact, I think the endurance in this particular pre-workout is up there with some of the best. And I mean, it's not surprising. You have that full clinical dose of beta-alanine with a big dose of taurine. There's not really much you can do to help to get you any more endurance than that. The endurance is very, very good. And you feel like you can just keep training and training and training and training until you get fucking sick of training and you just want to leave the gym and go get your post-workout meal. Elevation of mood, and I've split these apart here. I've split focus, and I'm going to put it over there and discuss in a second. Elevation of mood over here, because the elevation of mood's practically non-existent. To be completely honest with you guys, there's no effect on mood, feeling of well-being. It's probably the biggest, in terms of practical effect, definitely the biggest hole in the experience that you have when you're training on the Man Sports Game Day. That being said, mental focus and energy, and I'm going to group those two together now, is surprisingly delightful. It's real, because on paper it really shouldn't be, but in practical effect, in terms of what you actually experience, it's a really, really nice pre-workout to train on. It just feels good. The mental focus combined with the energy, combined with the feeling you get of the energy is clean, it's long lasting, it's just delightful. It's the best way I can put it. For me personally, guys, I've trained every muscle group on this game day, and it really has become my personal go-to when I'm talking about generally my longer workouts, because the energy is very, very long lasting. And the workouts where I don't want excessive muscle pump, but by nature of my workouts being longer, I want muscular endurance so that I can continue to train through them. So for me personally, game day really is my go-to pre-workout at the moment for my leg workouts and my back workouts. And I've even, you know, I will use it for chest and shoulders, not so much arms, chest and shoulders, but where I want a bit more pump, I'll stack it with a non-stim pump formula. But as a standalone pre-workout, it really, really is exceptional for those longer workouts where you just want to get in the zone and fucking train and train and train for 90 minutes, 100 minutes, 2 hours, those sort of longer workouts. For me personally, the legs and the back is really where the game day kind of stands apart. In terms of the side effects, a couple of things I want to note here for you guys. Firstly, do not stack this with another product that has agmatine sulfate in it, because you've already got a full gram in each and every scoop of the game day. If you're having more than that, it's definitely going to cause you digestive issues and an upset stomach. You don't want to go there. Secondly, it's a lot of caffeine. 350 milligrams, even though it's natural caffeine, it doesn't matter how you cut it, it's a shit ton of caffeine. So you are gonna have to find your sweet spot with this game day. For those of you who have a very high caffeine tolerance, I mean, go straight to one serve, which remember is 1.5 scoops. For those of you who don't, start at half a scoop and work your way up. For me personally, I found that one level scoop, which is about 70% of a full serve, keeping in mind that one level scoop is 12 to 13 grams when a full serve is supposed to be 17 grams. For me personally, that one level scoop is the sweet spot for me, and that's really where I get that amazing experience of just mental focus, energy, endurance, and just puts me in a place where I can train and train and train and train. And that's really what I'm getting the most out of when it comes to this game day. In terms of stackability, it's going to stack best. I mentioned that for chest and shoulders, I stack it with a stim-free pump formula. You can also stack this with, you know, if you're trying to increase muscle power, for example, you're trying to increase feeling of well-being, and you want to get that from a standalone stim-free pre-workout, it'll stack with that as well. The one thing it's not going to, you definitely do not want to stack this with any other product that has any sort of stimulant in it. It's just not necessary. There's more than enough caffeine in each and every scoop of this game day. You don't need to be stacking with any other stimulants. In terms of what it compares to, where it sits in the marketplace, I picked out a couple of different very popular pre-workouts here for you guys. I'm going to do a little comparison. So on one hand, I've got Redcon 1 Total War. On the other hand, I've got Arms Race Nutrition Harness. So let's start with Total War. The pumps are very similar between the game day and the Total War. The power in Total War is not as good. The power is better in the game day. Endurance is very similar between Total War and game day. Mental focus and feeling of well-being in Total War is non-existent. As I've mentioned to you guys, the feeling of well-being in game day is also non-existent, but the mental focus is surprisingly delightful. Energy is similar, but it's much cleaner with the game day. The Total War tends to kind of pick you up quicker and drop you quicker. It's much harsher when it comes to that experience of energy. Total War, you've got a lot more flavors to choose from. I think they're up to like 30 flavors or something ridiculous now. Man Sports, obviously, you only got the 3. And Total War's a little better value for money. It's $10 less per tub for the same 30 serves. On the flip side, when we talk about Arms Race Harness, which really is a world-leading, top-shelf pre-workout supplement, the pumps are very similar between the game day and the harness. The power is also very similar between the two. The endurance is also very similar between the two. The mental focus and feeling of well-being in Harness is far, far better than what you get from the game day. Harness really kind of steps into its own league when it comes to mental focus and feeling of well-being. And then the energy in Harness is much more intense and hits a lot harder, but once again, not quite as balanced as the energy you get from game day. Game day's energy is really clean, really smooth, and just a really nice experience. Arms Race Harness also has more flavors to choose from, is the same price, but you get 10 serves less in each and every tub. So the value for money, it's a little bit more expensive. Couple of things to round off. Who is this game day best for? Obviously, it's going to be best for experienced pre-workout users. It's going to be best for those of you who want a complete high-stim, performance-based pre-workout that's really going to tick all those boxes and specifically going to just allow you to get in this place where you can train and train until the fucking cows come home and the fat lady sings, and it's time to get yourself some post-workout gains. Last but not least, price and value for money in the Australian marketplace, the Man Sports Game Day, guys. Retailing for $79.95 for the 30 full serves, puts it at $2.67 per scoop per serve, because one scoop is, well, supposed to be one scoop, one serve. It's actually 1.5, but you get 30 full serves in each and every tub. So $2.67 per full serve. Very, very good value for money when you're talking about a formula of this standard, effects of this caliber for $2.67 per serve. And guys, if you're in the market for a complete high-stim performance-based pre-workout, man, you gotta take a closer look at this Man Sports Game Day. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn your post notifications on your mobile, your cell phone, your desktop PC, and whatever other device you are watching this video on, so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel, including all of these new, fresh, raw reviews for you guys. Guys, that is MassiveJoes' raw review on Man Sports Game Day in the house. And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay massive.
Thank you for tuning into this video. We hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to check out our latest upload and our recommended video, and be sure to subscribe to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads.